Hello, Annie from London and Sydney blog. I've had a lot of you asking me to do another video about what happened after I did the elemental diet. Now, if you're watching this for the first time, you have no idea what on earth is the elemental diet. It's actually not that bad. It tastes like protein powder, to be honest. This is 2 weeks just drinking this. Basically, the elemental diet is that it's liquid powdered form that you drink solidly with nothing else other than water for as long as possible to starve off the bacteria in your stomach, which is for SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So I ended up doing it for 26 days. I can't believe I had like over 10,000 views on that video, which is mad. I basically just did it because I couldn't find anything else on the internet about it, and I thought maybe other people might benefit from being able to see what it's like and to be able to sort of prepare themselves as to what to expect. It's probably the most confronting video I've ever made, especially this part. This is my life right now, just drinking this. Seeing myself like that is really hard. The fact that I had to film myself crying was really, really difficult. But I really wanted to be raw and as authentic as possible, just to really sort of show you what I was going through. And the main thing I got out of that is like so many people emailed me to say they had the same thing, or they were going through the elemental diet and they were glad they found the video, which is amazing. It's been like a year and a half now, if not nearly 2 years since I did that. Not long after I did it, I went traveling around the world for a year and I was bricking it. Like, I honestly thought I was going to be so ill, like I wasn't going to be able to walk or whatever. It turns out as soon as I left Australia, I was fine. Went around the world, lots of different countries, was pretty much fine everywhere. I even managed to hike to Everest Base Camp, which was insane. It was like a 13-day trek. I can't believe I actually did it, considering how ill I was like 6 months before.
Thanks, Krishna. We made it. Come on. We made it, bud.
So I was pretty much all right in most countries. You know, I did have the odd flare up every so often, like in India here. By the time I got back to England, because I had been living in Australia and that's where I got SIBO, so I was actually like fine. I was under a lot of stress. It was a really hard time there as well. And my stomach was completely fine. I was like, what? Like, how is this happening? And then we did a bit more travel around Europe, fine. Got to Mexico, a bit weird, like it sort of started to come back. But when I got back to Australia, as soon as I got back to Australia, it came on instantly. As soon as I started eating, as soon as I started drinking, bam, I got it straight away, which is weird. And I was not expecting it at all, and I wasn't prepared for it. I sort of was like wondering what might happen, but the fact that that happened. Been in Australia for 5 months now, although this last month I've been in America for Stevo's work. That's the other half. So, where in the 4 months of being back in Australia, I got really swollen, really bloated, pain started to come back, it was awful. I decided to train for half marathon, which somehow I did it, because it was like literally like, it was like something was just like weighing my whole body down trying to run. As soon as we came to America, we've been here for 5 weeks. As soon as we came here, completely fine. And we've been eating loads of rubbish, mind you, like some of the food over here, my God, like I don't know how people like eat here and are still like functioning. Just before we came to America, I started to eat more of a keto diet, so like mainly I was just off the carbs. So I was off the sugars and the sort of breads and pastas and rice and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't eating any of that, which I did feel a lot better. But when we came to America, it sort of stepped it up. Like now I feel like totally normal, like actually normal. So the most interesting thing I've got to tell you today is I put it out there on Instagram to see if anyone else was going through what I'm going through in Australia. It turns out I got a huge response. Like so many expats, like I'm talking at least 50 people, right, on Instagram emailed me to say they are experiencing the exact same thing as me, the exact same. And I was like, wow, that is like mad. I can't believe all these people have got the same thing as me. Because it feels really lonely and you feel really like, I don't know. You feel like you're on your own really with this. No one understands what you're going through. And I couldn't believe it, like 50 people emailed me to say, got the same thing, can't believe it, someone else has got it. And So I started to look into it more, and it turns out apparently they put more gluten in the bakeries over here. It could be something to do with the water. So I've written a massive blog about it. You can find it in the link below. So you can read all about everything that's been going on recently. I've also set up a Facebook group page as well, which I'll link below as well, so you can join that, especially if you're in Sydney as well. So we're basically going to start doing meetups, so I can meet other people, who've got the same condition as me, so we can actually start to discuss what's going on. There's just something a bit weird going on here, why so many expats have got the same condition in Australia. I've also had a lot of Australians email me to say that they have got it too, but when they go to Europe, they're completely fine. To me, this is too much of a coincidence, and I really want to set up a sort of support group and a network that we can sort of work this out together, because I'm sure everyone spent a ridiculous amount of money on trying to sort out this bloating, weird stuff going on. So join the group, and hopefully we can go from there. To read all about everything that's been going on with me in the last 2 years, go to the link below into the blog post, and you can read everything there is about what's been happening. So thanks for watching. Thanks. I'm glad that I've helped you in some way. If anything, you've helped me, like you really have. You've helped me overcome the emotional side to it. I'm no longer sort of emotionally connected to it, which is amazing. Like, I don't get down about it anymore. If anything, I'm just more curious about what's going on with Australian food or water. Who knows? So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.